Good morning. Not much changed yesterday or this morning so far. We don't expect it to. Big numbers coming tomorrow. And well, 10 o'clock, there's a number. CB consumer confidence. We'll see what it does. There's a Fed guy talking probably in a few minutes. No, well, probably not much is going to happen. 1 o'clock, there's an auction, 7-year auction. Some of these have moved markets intraday. Just keep that in mind. I mean, the big numbers are tomorrow at 8:30. Some gas numbers at 10:30. And then Thursday, there's numbers at 8:30 and so on. So not much happening here. Um, you know, pretty much unchanged, wiggling around a bit, just based on the pattern. One would think it would come lower, probably not much, but um, what would motivate it to do that? Well, possibly just not going up would be enough. You can see yesterday was just going nowhere all day. It held at the opening price. That's that blue line right there. Um, which looks to be, yesterday's close. Like, I guess they're the same, that they're overlapping. So usually I got yesterday's close and the open on there. Let me just take a look here. Oh, previous close. Oh, interesting. I don't have the days open. I usually do. Anyway, yeah, the open was right there, and it blipped up. You can see the bar and came right back down again. And where buyers were going to show up, filling the gap, they did. They didn't get it very far. Once it forms the pivot, it's got, we've got something to trade against. And then it was just chop, 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 chop. And it didn't go up, so it went down a little bit, not much. And this is what we anticipated, yesterday morning. And so for the moment, I think we're going to get more of the same. We've got this minor support down here. It's possible that that gets tested. It would be an obvious place for prices to come down to where buyers would want to show up again. And we see, what they do. They keep it in this trading range. You can see there's nothing underneath here. So, and sometimes you don't need news to move things along, just a lack of an uptrend following through or failing where there's demand, minor support. Could be a pivot, but you can see from here to here, there's nothing. There's probably some, magical fib lines or VWAPs or Ichikumi cloud, hocus pocus stuff somewhere in here. There is a whole number of 500. I would lean more on that than anything else breaking through here, that 500 level. And then from there, if it's moving down, what you want to do is, I don't have it on here, but I did. It's just a screen I use. I move everything over to my other system. But the NYSE tick, you would want to have your tick indicator on there. If you get a minus 1,000 tick reading, prices would cascade down to that 500 level, and we would get a bounce from that point. Well, we'd see if we start getting some stabilization at that point. The other thing to do is to watch other markets to see how they're acting. So the Qs showed a little relative strength yesterday, but they couldn't get going either. They just flip-flopped around, as you can see, throughout the trading day. Again, nothing much is happening here. Up a little bit, relatively insignificant. So, same story. There's pivot lows down here. You can see all of them here, and whether they break and go down, or do they flip flop around here. So until something starts to happen, There's just little expectation that prices are going to move before tomorrow. Um, could be surprise stuff that comes out, but breaking this support could just bring in some natural selling, so to speak. Just breaking a support level. You can see pivot highs, pivot lows. It's tight, so it could break either way. See what happens from there. Looking quickly at a few other markets, whether they did anything yesterday. Nope, but looks good. Diamonds did nothing. The trend is up. Russell, a little bit, but nothing much is going on here. Financials, gave it up a little bit, no big deal. Interest rates, just waiting, no matter where you look. Different sectors, broader markets, interest rates. The world is waiting for whatever's going to come tomorrow to move these markets. Transports did nothing, down a little bit, insignificant. There were stocks moving. Dan will cover that. So, I talk about the broader markets and other intermarkets and those relationships, but overall, market-wise, energy stocks, nada, nothing there. Technology, nothing. Semiconductors, nothing. So, you can look around, and it's the same thing no matter where you look. Bitcoin is down 1,000, 1,100 or so, but within the trend, big deal. Big deal. The biggie. And this one has other stocks. It's, but that did nothing. It's just ETF, but it's got more transportation stocks in there. So it looks a little different than the transport index. Our internals, neutral at this point. They reached an extreme up here. And let's see, equity put call ratio down here, just tagging the upper edge over there. So more can I say? Most things are in uptrends. They're not doing anything right now. We wait for the news. Certain things are extended. Certain things are retesting prior areas of resistance. We wait to see if they're going to be able to get through them. Sure. SPX here. So the difference is about 70 points. It's almost in the middle of it. So, day to day has been okay. Let's see which way things go. Do they form some support or resistance intraday that'll be supportive of, not going one way or the other? And it's been working out. Other than that, it's individual stocks and what they're doing market wise. The story. So all yours, Dan. I know it's early, but there's just nothing going on here.
Good morning. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing that whenever the market's doing nothing, there's still no shortage of great setups that we can find that outperform. So we actually entered a lot of things yesterday. I don't have any alarms going off. Actually, I just see Sophie alarm. I don't remember Sophie. This was one I was grabbing a screenshot of. We sold the $200 puts yesterday. Tomorrow, MT Live, we'll be talking about classical patterns. And this is some bull rectangle. Sold a put on. Let's grabbing a chart of that. Sophie up alarm. All right, bottoming pattern. So this is the spot to do it. Sophie gapped up, got slammed all the way back down, rebuilding. Look at all the MAs I like a lot. iRobot, set an alarm. iRobot 1220, so I can use that window. Sophie there. Say Corning. Alarm. We are long calls. I see one print up here. It's not liquid, so I don't trust it, but let me just set a new alarm. 3305 in case it is gapping up. We will move our stop. Roku. Roku gapping down. Wow. We sold a put spread on that, but that's having a hard time making the turn. All right, back to earnings. We'll hear the CLSK. Do y'all remember in the green room, I was stalking the heck out of this on this turn right here? I think we had a 2-day trade out of it, but we sure left some money on the table and then 5 in. I don't think it's earnings, but they said they were doing a secondary offering and that's dilutive. So typically they don't like that. As you can see, it gapping down. This uniform is the only option trade we did yesterday. LMW is the morning. All right, right here, uniform. All right, so we sold the 42s and the 26 and a half. So, ideally when we do these, when you sell options into earnings, you want it to open flat. That's ideal, open flat. You get full vol crush and no directional hurting you. So this one's gapping down, but we still have over $2 out of the money. So as long as it doesn't puke into the open, if it opens right here, then I got 98% confidence we're gonna have a nice open gain. RGHI, I don't see a symbol there. RXST. Yeah, that's bullish consolidation. Oh, you're saying earnings. RGTI. Yeah, this is the one we were talking yesterday. Is one of these hypercomputer AI things. Yeah, my bad. I wanted to get us in about right there, 165 yesterday. And then sound hog, dog, whatever you are. That thing took off over lunch yesterday when I was gone. But that was on my list. Darn it. Alex, remind me, let's go over your AI list you sent me an article over the weekend. I want to build a list of tier 2 and 3 stocks that's not on everyone's radar right now. Raul, YouTube, Hub G, short yesterday's low. Sure. Yeah, it's a sell setup. 2050 looks good. Yeah, that looks good. HUBG and Omer. All right, thanks, Patrick. So that would veto that. Yeah, Omer's a buy setup, sure. Yeah, those both look good. Back to earnings here, Zoom. I know it's a big old bullish gap, but it's in a downtrend, daily, weekly, monthly. It needs time to build and heal. Hymns, I think I said in the green room, if it opens flat, I liked it. Nice closing breakout on volume. So they were very confident going into earnings, and they're getting paid for holding. Okay, no pattern, but Watch it on a pullback. It's bullish, daily, weekly, monthly. All right, well, that's worth observing, Patrick. That's worth watching. I'll put it in the window. ZM. All right, workday getting whacked a little bit here. Call spread idea if it can't bounce. This was a buy setup. Look at that volume. So these people who dumped their long ahead of earnings are kicking themselves. That's a bullish gap, but gap's too big. Sky T closing breakout. This will be an ideal 1, 2, 3 if it opens flat. This in a window. And maybe 30-minute high. Let's see what it does here. iRobot. This thing is just got killed. Look at that, $40 down to 12, gapping down again. Now I set an alarm at 12:20 because if it negates this gap down, then it could be a downside shakeout, gap reversal. So I have no interest unless my alarm goes off. Card 2230, bearish gap, 30-minute low, could be a call spread. DHC shows it printed at 310 here, but I don't see any volumes. Kind of a little cup and handle. Inverse head and shoulder, so this I like. FGen 1.6. So gap breakdown in the middle of no man's land. Nothing to do. SPX 205. That is a power nasty downtrend. Trex has been on a tear. Nice gap breakout here, but excessive. RJL could be day trade short. Look at this power downtrend on the 15. Sterl 93. It's bullish, but we just don't buy. Big 4 up bars far from the 20 gapping up. I'd be selling in the strength, not thinking to buy. Sibin 19 and change, bearish gap. HEI extended, opening flat, MBC opening flat. Possible 30-minute high. Ever 2050. What a beautiful turn here at the 50 down here. Beautiful turn, beautiful. But nothing to do now. I'd be selling in the strength. Pub M, that was a nice gap reversal buy setup. Yeah, I remember you talking about selling calls on the I remember you asked me and I said it was too close for my comfort, is what I said. Wow, this thing's been on a tear into earnings. Man, I can't see where it's gapping, but let's set an alarm at 40. If it starts retracing, this is a short-term top. Sell the news type situation. Valeris 770. Stop. This is one I said yesterday. If it opened flat, I like it. And it looks like it is. I don't know if this gap down is real right here, but as of right now, it's opening flat. So this I like, maybe 10-minute high. I have it in another window. Looks great. And these are earnings in the morning. LOW, maybe call spread for Friday. AMT. Let's set an alarm at 181.10. I'm sorry, 191.10. Bamo. Hey, Cesar. Bamo 9150, no pattern, but it's, signs of it rolling over. BNS 48.4. There's a gap breakout. I don't think the target is really big, but that's a bullish gap over all this monthly consolidation. AutoZone, remember yesterday we were talking about expensive stocks, which is why Walmart decided to split. Walmart was only come on, internet. Walmart was what, $180 and they split. Look at this thing, 2,900. Gap's too big, but that's amazing. People friggin' buying car parts. Look at that, all-time highs. Man. SRE, garbage pattern. AEP, 82.86. It's a bullish gap, but I don't like that it's run from here to here. But definite put spread idea under yesterday's low. SEG as a new trade, I like better. Gapping over a red bar and by not too much. So SEG, maybe 30-minute high, looks good. Delta 20, CRSP. That CRSP sounds like a bio, so you better look it up. I see your Zoom pulling in already here pre-market. I'm watching it. So CRSP, it's not okay. It's just not a great pattern. I mean, it's in an uptrend. It's bullish price action. It's bullish weekly, monthly, but I don't know what to say. It's bullish, but I don't see any no-brainer setup to put on a new trade. It's gapping down, no interest. Smuckers up a little bit. Well, not much, man. HSIC, I don't see any prints. We'll come back. Jill, I set an alarm at 185.50. It's a buy setup with a 4-bar turn. Bullish weekly, monthly. APLS. Now this was when I said if it opened flat, then I liked it long. Gap's messing it up. So we'll come back to it. Hey, little cruise ship. And now had this open flat, would have been a short yesterday. But now that's a pro gap. That is a pro gap. Nasty downtrend in the gap is putting a major dagger in the downtrend with this gap. So that doesn't mean it's a long because I got too much junk over here, but it's a pro gap. You got the shorts on the rope. So check put spreads. Check the cousins, CCL also. CCL is a better new pattern. Gapping over these two red bars because it has a better void over here. See that? So let's put CCL in a window for a 30-minute high idea. And then to round it off, RCL 124.50. And that has a void with a shock pattern. So that's a definite put spread. Yesterday's low also. Check earnings on those two, but I don't like the Norwegian, but the other two are very interesting. Ford gapping down, 10-minute low call spread idea. Doctors, you need to pull back. All right, that's all the earnings. I still don't have any other alarms going off. URI is a closing breakout. I think Aichi, this might be yours. Let's set an alarm at 673.50. That looks like an Aichi setup. SQSP, Greg mentioned this yesterday, big trading range, but bullish weekly, monthly. All right, thanks. And then 5 and we talked about secondary offering. And it's 9:26, so I'm done early here too. SMCI, I've been watching this thing for, 2 months now. Selling call spreads on it or naked calls. It's down a little bit, still extended. But I'd rather short calls on this into, crazy rallies as opposed to tight consolidation. But let me see how much juice there is. There's insane amount of premium on this thing. But if you need to take your heart medicine when you trade this stuff. Wow, the 1500s are only bid 30 cents now. Whereas last Friday, they were something crazy like $5. So they have already started sucking the juice out of this thing. So, when you get a nice toy like this, I call it, it's not, it only lasts kind of a few weeks. So now you would have to go down to the 1260s to get $1. It's $1 by $1.45 right now, pre-market. Which is still not bad, still $160 above this 1100 range, where it hit a brick wall on a bunch of open interest. All right, STAA up alarm. This was my long idea if it opened flat. So it's not up too much. I still like it. Target 33.50 maybe. So this is a tier 1 earnings trade for me. I actually sold the $25 puts yesterday. So I'm bidding a nickel to get out of those. Oh, anything in the FANG department? Microsoft, big pile of garbage on the daily. Apple, garbage, been relative weakness. Amazon, strong, added to the Dow yesterday. Meta, just, going sideways, bullish all time frames. Google's been weak lately. Look at that. If this gives us a bear 1, 2, 3, right, and then the market starts selling off, I think that's headed to the 200. Netflix gapping up today, so there's relative strength. Tesla up. We had the put spread hit yesterday. This was in the weekend letter. I didn't look at it. Did anybody try? Let me see where the juice is. Let me look right now. That was the weekend letter. So 187, 182, 187, 182 right now is 34 cents. So the question is, was it weak enough yesterday here? I just don't know, unless one of you tell me. I have no idea if that got filled yesterday, unless maybe I look at a option chart that graphs it like Greg has. All right, this was our earnings trade. I have a bid out there for a dime. Obviously, I'm not filled, or I would have heard the Pavlov dog bell go off. And typically you got to wait 5 minutes for them to simmer down the spreads. It's not even open right now. It's showing 82 cents, so it's not even open. The guys at the donut shop. Greg, your SQSP alarm.
Really not moving much.
What?
Not moving much.
Well, you know me, I always have early alarms, so it went off at whatever, 33.70. Prim low alarm. Remember, I set an alarm at 40. So that is gapping down on earnings. Nothing to do right yet. CCL. Gap's too big. RCL. Put spread. Dodger, Roger. Burl up alarm. We're already in it. RCL. Yeah, I think we sold puts on Albemarle yesterday. All right, this is a beautiful, beautiful gap over a red bar. Let there be juice at 120. There is, so there has to be earnings, unless these are old prices. I'm looking five. Okay, so am I looking at old prices? I can't believe the 120s are 240. I can't believe it. That's too good to be true. And they're not moving, so high degree of certainty. I'm looking at old prices. All right, this I'm not liking the pullback. Yeah, I just killed it at 50. I don't like the price action right here. Take a small gain instead of having